I set this up back in December of 2022 to hopefully finally have success with dairy cow isopods. The first layer was some cocoa cradle, I gave it a light misting, then it was time for the isopods' favorite things. Some dried oak leaves, Josh's Frog's substrate, some sphagnum moss. I did wet this down before I spread it out throughout the tank. I put in some cork bark I had laying around. Then it was time to take their old setup and basically just transfer it over, because their old setup was not successful. The trick was, as I transferred everything over, to just do it gently and make sure I didn't kill any of the isopods, and spread everything out throughout the whole tub, just as you can see I'm doing right now. After I was done transferring over the old home, this bin basically just looked like a compost bin, so I wanted to freshen things up. I added in some more isopod substrate, I sprinkled around some more leaves. I'd made quite a mess on the walls, so I decided to spray down the walls to make them look a little nicer and not just caked in dirt. I think I'm going to find success with this bin by having a dry side and a wet side. The dry side will be wet, but not as wet as the wet side. I spread around the sphagnum moss roots because I didn't have a better home for them, and just like that, it was all set up and time to wait. Here's the colony today. Right away, you can already see one of the guys running around. Oh, there's another one. Here's 3 big ones just out and about. I think this tub setup is really the way to do it with these guys, and when it comes to food, well, they have all this wood and leaves to eat. I do give them carrots every once in a while, and you can even give them dead crickets and stuff. I think it is important to have a wet side and a dry side. The dry side is wet, but it's not as wet as over here. I just took care of these guys today, so the walls are wet. They're not always wet. I probably water these guys once a week or maybe once every week and a half.